I'm going to show you how you can apply the dashboard design best practices that we covered in the last lesson to your Geckoboard dashboards. The first question to ask yourself when it comes to dashboard design is, what is the purpose of my dashboard? What do I want it to achieve? Let's take a look at this example dashboard here. And let's say our objectives with this dashboard are to keep an eye on our monthly recurring revenue, or MRR. We want to keep track of our growing customer base and see how we're doing in terms of signups. Looking at it at present, it's not clear which metrics are important, so we need to change that. There are lots of things we can do with this dashboard. So you can see it is a little bit of a jumble, and we need to tidy it up to make it much more easy to read and understand by anyone. So looking at the top left-hand corner, you can see that we have 3 widgets, including different time zones. It's great to see the different time zones that our colleagues are working across, but it's not necessarily an important metric to show. And this is actually dashboard real estate heaven. You want to keep this top left-hand corner for your most important numbers, because that is where the eye is naturally drawn when they come to look at your dashboards. So let's get rid of this, because in my example, it is not actually serving the purpose I want for my dashboard. So we'll clear this off. And there we go. We've got a clear top left-hand corner. What else can we do on this dashboard? Well, it's important to consider the different types of visualizations that you're using, and it's important to be consistent. So as you can see, we have 2 sales reps widgets here. This one is a column chart and is looking at contracts this year, and this one is a bar chart looking at sales contracts this month. As you can see with the bar chart, it's much easier to understand how each rep is doing because you can clearly see their names, whereas the bar chart doesn't serve this purpose as well. Let's say that contracts this month are actually more important to view on our dashboard. So we're going to go ahead and delete this one as it duplicates that information. Now we have this gauge widget here, which has no clear title, and it is a rather long number with 2 decimal places, which seems quite unnecessary. And in most cases, it's best not to show the whole number. It's best to round so that it's easier for someone to pick up once they look at your dashboard. So I'm going to go ahead and delete this one, seeing as it doesn't seem important and the gauge is very much out of place with the other visualizations. So now we've narrowed it down to our most important numbers on this dashboard. I'm going to create a section working with MRR. So let's say our most important number on this whole dashboard is our total MRR per month. So this widget, which is poorly labeled, actually indicates that. Let's say we have a target each month of hitting $3,500. How do I know what that target is or where we are towards that target? Well, there's a great feature you can use if we go into edit this widget. If you take a look down on the left-hand side under the comparison visualization, you have an option to add a goal. So let's add 3,500 as our goal. You can now clearly see we're 61% of the way towards that target. So I'm going to add that to my dashboard. There we go. We have this line chart here, which reflects MRR this month in a line chart showing trends over time. So that can clearly be grouped together with our monthly total. I'm going to move some space so we can size this up. Let's make it a bit bigger. And there we go. Those 2 are quite clearly meant to be grouped together because they are talking around the same thing. I'm going to add a title, MRR this month. And that means I don't need duplication titles here. So I'm going to change this to total so it's clear what we're looking at. And I can actually remove this title because it's obvious what we're talking about once they're grouped together. We also have this widget down here, which has a rather lengthy title, and we'd actually like to edit that so that it is much clearer. So it's showing total monthly recurring revenue this year. So we can abbreviate that for sure. As long as the abbreviations you use are familiar with the people that look at your dashboards, then it is a great way of shortening those titles and making things very clear. again, you can see here, this number isn't looking great because it has far too many decimal places, far more than unnecessary. So let's go in to edit this widget. And if you hit the number formatting, you'll be able to then amend your decimal places. So let's take it down to 0, and you can see the number rounds up and is much easier to view. So that's our MRR section. Let's take a look at our customers. So I'm going to move signups out of the way for the minute. This is our total customers in April. And what I would like to do with this number is compare it to last month, because we want to see our month-on-month growth in terms of our customer base. So that's super easy to do. Hitting the top right corner, the 3 dots, and going into edit, we're again going to look at these comparison visualizations. So let's hit that toggle. You'll see you've got some options here. You can sparkline, you can use a percentage, a number, and again, there's the goal option. But I'd like to see what percentage growth we have month on month. So by selecting that, the numbers in my spreadsheet are highlighting last month versus this month. So now I have 9.4%, a healthy increase in my customer base versus March. So I'm going to reflect that within my title so it's obvious what I'm working with. So this is versus March, and this is total customers in April. So we don't need that 2020 there. That's wasting a bit of space. We don't even need in. Okay. And another customer related widget we have up here is today's new customers, and that has been squashed up there so you can't actually see it clearly. Let's make it nice and big and easy to read, and we can size up our total customers. There you go. So that's our customer section. It's really clear to see what's going on with our customer base now. And you might recall I moved around some widgets into this top corner here. We have sign-up information. So I want to group these two together again in the same way I've done on the MRR side. Now this looks rather big, so I'm just going to size that up. And we will call this sign-ups this month. We can have total again here. And again, we've got a lengthy title here that we don't need, so we can remove that and allow some extra space there. So that's how easy it is to apply the dashboard design best practices to your dashboard. I hope this helps.